Hi, I'm Rob.
And I'm also Rob.
And welcome back after a very long hiatus to the Geek Show.
Yes, it's been on, off, on, off, on, off, and on again.
Yes. I mean, we've had a bit of a long delay, partly my fault, but also partly because we made a film.
Yes, we did. We did.
So, yeah. And today we're going to talk about the film that we made. It's exciting stuff because I've never made a film before. You've never made a film before.
Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Not for a while, but
Okay.
I have made films before, yes.
Yes. I do know this. I was teasing.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is totally new ground for me. And I know that you've wanted to do something more along those lines for a long time.
Well, getting into sort of getting the elephant out of the room for me. I've been watching like tech videos for years because unlike the sort of the tech sphere on YouTube at least, there's this idea that all of this technology is really easy to get, like expensive lenses, expensive cameras, expensive everything.
Yes.
Whereas the reality is, for a lot of people, myself included, I wanted to make films, but the way I had to do it was basically piecemeal by a lot of kit, bit by bit by bit by bit by bit. To the point where you've got like basically a filmmaker's kit that you're ready to go with. And that was what one of the sort of big instigators behind me taking basically 10 years between actively making films and just not doing anything on that front, really. So, yeah, we got like a kit together. But it was a bit more complicated than that because it wasn't just our kit, was it? We headed up to Newcastle. We're in North Yorkshire, Teesside. It's this little pocket in the north where it's the centre of nowhere, middle of everywhere. Yeah, it's a dump as well, but I'll get in trouble if I say that, but I'm standing by it.
I'll say it then. It's a dump.
Yeah, so we went to Newcastle. And we made. I'm calling it my re-debut because the first two will never, ever, 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 ever see the light of day. Ever.
He's not kidding. My hat is just weird. I don't know why it won't stay straight, but maybe it's just me. Am I cracking my neck? I don't know. But yeah, I've tried getting him to let me watch these films. Right, we've been friends for like 15 odd years, and I've begged, and he won't let me see these films.
I won't even watch them. I've got them on a Google Drive.
They're in the box of shame.
Yeah, it's in a folder called "Do Not Delete." I should just rename it "Never Open." It's like it's my Pandora's box that I'll never. Even...
Oh God! Can you imagine if like MI5 want to search your computer and you got a folder called "Do Not Open"?
Yeah, it sounds more ominous than it is.
Exactly. Anyway, right. So this all kind of started in COVID because you and I were writing a lot of stuff during COVID. We're throwing around various ideas because you thought it was a good idea.
It was happening before COVID, but
it was happening before COVID, but we really
to
knuckled
next
down
level during COVID. Yeah,
I mean, we'd already been writing stuff and sharing ideas about what films we'd want to make and stuff like that, but we hadn't got anything concrete. And then during COVID, because we had so much free time, we knuckled down. We came up with all sorts of ideas. I'm a big believer in the concept of there is no bad idea. There are only concepts that you may find sparks of inspiration from. And so, any idea you have,
I think there is bad ideas.
Yeah.
Then again, I've
Look,
watched a lot more movies than you.
look,
I have a basis to
when
found
I
that on.
say that there are no bad ideas, I'm talking about in terms of storytelling. I'm not saying that there are no bad ideas in terms of real life. In terms of real life, yes, there's
still
definitely
bad
bad
ideas
ideas.
of storytelling, Rob. Believe me, there's still bad ideas.
It depends, like I said, I use them as concepts to spark a different idea
Yeah.
from a different concept from,
So
a different thread
the
for
irony
telling a story.
is, COVID kind of got in the way. COVID and
Yeah,
the UK state of being,
yeah,
in the sense of Brexit, caused a lot of things. It caused things like the cost of living crisis.
yeah,
See, I had this original idea. It was called Sacrifice. I worked on it for years. So chipping
yeah,
in like sacrifice. So it's like sacrifice, but with sock portmanteaued into it. So it's kind of a campy sort of
yeah,
name, a pun. Yeah.
yeah.
So we
Well,
had
we're
that
going to do that.
idea. We're going to do that until the idea came sort of reality that we're going to have to basically take over a laundrette for a weekend.
Yeah. We won't
The
go any
cost of
further than that because we don't want to give anyone ideas. But the cost of living crisis.
the cost
Yeah.
of like running that, we would be asking a laundrette to basically take on an incredible amount of money, and so the sort of money that we couldn't really recoup. So,
I'll
like
reimburse to
any,
them. Yeah.
yeah, like any sort of indie movie, you've got to pivot.
Yeah.
You got
So
to
we did.
find where you can tell a story, and change tact completely. But just before that, the whole idea of sacrifice, it was based on there's a horror movie. It was put on Netflix. That comes off Netflix. It goes back on Netflix like periodically, called His House by Remy Weeks. He did a short that basically got him that movie with Channel 4 called Tickle Monster, which, the idea. I don't know if it travels internationally. The whole idea of a tickle monster, like people tickling each other, and be careful. The tickle monster, and you sort of playful with each other.
Yeah.
You turned that into a horror movie. Great jump scare in it. And I thought,
Yeah.
what is another sort of stupid thing like that you could turn into a quick 5-minute short?
Yeah.
That's what Sacrifice was. So we pivoted that to become the last sock you'll ever need. We won't go into the story of it. Needless to say, it starts with an advert and then just goes deeper and deeper down the rabbit hole.
Yeah. I think just winding it back a little bit to what happened in terms of, because we both defined our separate roles within doing this. We were working on the story together, but Rob did the script. And then for us, Rob's directing this. So then it comes to what's my job, and my job was producing this, and I've never produced a film before.
I asked Rob, "Do you want to be a producer for this?"
And I said yes.
And
Immediately said yes.
it wasn't like he just woke up one day and, I'm producer now.
Yeah.
And you started getting cargo pants with more pockets than you need and
I used
talking
to
down to
have those when
people
I was a
because
teenager.
he's always been like that. He didn't
Yeah.
need to turn into a producer. He's
No,
just
no,
like
no.
that.
Yeah, I am just like that. Hence the name P Rob, producer Rob. It's I've always produced. That's literally what I've done for like over a decade. So, so to me, just being the producer, was like, yeah, sure, I'll do it. I've always wanted to do something more on the production side with TV and film. I've worked with audio for a lot of time, and that was it was kind of like I was in my element for a while there when we were in the run up to the film.
Yeah.
Because
So the pre-production is the thing that I
yeah,
think people don't realize it takes the longest amount of time.
yeah,
Which is, it's not just, we've got a movie, we've got a script, let's do it.
yeah,
Because you've got to basically find the cast, find the crew, find the locations. Something will happen with some of the locations, so you have to find a backup to the locations. You have to organize everybody being at the same place at the same time,
yeah,
and all sorts.
yeah. But before we even got to that point, the first thing that we ran into head first was equipment, and that's where things got a little bit because we both went down the rabbit hole a little bit in terms of the equipment side of things.
Oh yeah, I mean, taking a loop back, I mean, as far as how long it took me to get onto this level, but yeah, I've watched so many YouTube videos, tutorials, reviews that there's a episode of the Geek show which never made it out, in which I basically call the whole YouTube camera space the blind leading the blind, because all of them, their entire expertise of cameras is they review cameras. They don't know how to use them otherwise. They just read the spec sheet. So
that episode may still come out.
That's not dipping your toe. That's going head first for a swim. That's becoming Aquaman. That's
that episode may still come out because that does still exist in a lot of ways. But there was that. And so in the camera space, I mean, you basically learned pretty much everything you could about cameras and lenses. So much so that, see, there's a thing that's happened over 15 years of friendship. I sometimes speak in what he calls tongues because I'm speaking language that he doesn't understand because I'm getting very technical, especially when it comes to like PCs and PC building and, and tech support and stuff like that. And he'll look at me blankly. I was like that with him when he was talking about cameras and lenses. And that's a rarity for me.
Yeah, I've gone deep, but yeah, we have a decent kit now.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say that we've got high end stuff, but you don't need it, and that's what we found was that a lot of the stuff that we had was good for what we wanted to do to get us off the ground and get us moving forward.
And it turned out we didn't need any of it.
Yeah. I mean, we were lucky enough to find a cinematographer.
On the camera front, I shall specify.
Yeah, I mean, we were lucky enough to find a cinematographer who had a a Blackmagic
6K.
6K, and he had lenses and stuff like that. He had his own lights and stuff because we actually bought our own lights as well. We got the Colbor, I think it's the R200, and we just recently got the R200, the C200, and the C200.
It's all meaningless. Just Colbor 200 watt lights.
Yeah, we've got two of them, one RGB and one bicolor, and we got those off AliExpress, and we found AliExpress is brilliant if you're wanting to make films because there's so much stuff that's available there.
Just on that, AliExpress is a complicated place. It has the shittest of shit on there, and if you just go looking for anything, the first thing that you will find is the shittest of shit.
Yes,
but if you look for things that are actually good, you will find that it's a good £50 to £100 cheaper.
Sometimes even more. I mean, the light stands that I got off AliExpress, I wanted to get them off Amazon, and they were £150 on Amazon, and I bought them from AliExpress for £40 each. So I saved like 220 quid.
Yeah, it's the whole idea of frugality as a filmmaker. You've got to get as an indie filmmaker. There's levels of indie filmmaker. There's the ones where they're basically daddy's little boy or little girl and have got all the money in the world and do whatever they want. And there's the ones where they have to make every penny stretch as far as humanly possible.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, that's
what we are. That's what we were.
It's crazy how that turned out, though, because I think once we got past that technology barrier, we started getting our own equipment. We got these lavalier microphones, lavalier microphones,
clip-on mics.
Yeah, we did a lot of research into which ones were the best ones, and we settled on the Holyland Mark M2s. No, Lark M2s, sorry. And we found that they were brilliant for what they were. They were great for what they were, had really good audio pickup, really good reviews from people who were actually in the know.
And that goes with my Sennheiser microphone, which These two things are especially important because you'll hear so many people in the industry tell you can have the best visuals in the world, but if people don't like the audio and it's tinny,
yeah,
nobody will turn off quicker with bad audio.
yeah.
You know.
But in terms of the sound recording, we were using Tascams, the DR60 Mark II and the DR70,
which are old.
They're old, but
here's the
the great
thing,
yeah,
that the YouTube sphere will not tell you. Again, it's the audio equipment ages very, 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 very slowly.
yeah, very slowly. Now,
So you
I
can
know a
get
lot of
something from
people.
a decade ago and it'll be fine. Whereas if you
Yeah.
get a camera from a decade ago, it's basically like shooting on a potato.
Oh yeah. Now I know that a lot of people use the zooms and stuff like that, and that's fine if you want to use the zooms. That's totally fine. I don't like the file system on zooms. That's
That's
why
fine.
I prefer Tascam, because it's I find the Tascam file system. It's what I'm used to, and I find it easier to use. But that the zooms are just as good as the Tascam. Sometimes even better. Sometimes the Tascams are better. Sometimes you want to use something else.
Horses for
There are
courses.
loads of options. But in terms of what we have the DR60 Mark II and the DR70. Now, we didn't get those for filmmaking, because our original use for those was when we were going on location and doing interviews with people at
Which
various
is basically
events.
the same sort of principles as far as the production
Exactly.
demands as audio
And
anyway.
this is where we get that crossover of what we used to do and filmmaking, because we had certain equipment that we already had access to, that we didn't need to buy.
Just on that, we will continue to do interviews. We do
Yeah,
have plans for certain film festivals that we'll be attending as a in-person thing,
yeah,
and
yeah,
certain media walls that we will be attacking. But that's neither here nor there, and it's jumping the gun, and it's not the topic for today.
yeah. But back on the topic of the audio, like you said, it was a common complaint, and after speaking to the cast and crew on our film, I found that out as well from them, that the most common complaint with indie films is the audio. And I just kept thinking, why are there so few sound recordists?
Because it's not
When
cool,
there's
it's
so
not
many people,
sexy. It's like you
it
got like
doesn't.
famous filmmakers, you got famous cinematographers, famous actors. There's no famous sound guys. Not
I'm a
one.
sound guy. I'm a sound guy.
That's a T side double meaning. But as far as like the film industry, there's no famous sound people or sound recordists.
No,
Just
I
isn't.
know. This is one of the great shames, I think, about the whole filmmaking side of things when it comes to production, is that the people who are basically the nuts and bolts, they're they're the gears that drive the machine. They don't really get the credit that they deserve. There's no awards for best sound recordist, is there? There's
Well, there's
no
best sound
awards.
design.
Yeah, sound design isn't sound recordist.
No, but you couldn't have one without the other.
And this is the thing. Sound design is, creating a soundscape. Yes, fine, wonderful. I applaud your efforts in that. But who recorded it? Who
Yeah.
was the guy who basically stood there with a boom mic over his head like that for like an hour?
Yeah, they don't do
Rock
that.
solid.
They have takes, bro, different takes.
Yeah, I know that, but I mean, they have takes and you get the rest of your arms. But I mean, who's the guy doing that all day long on a film set? So you get the right take.
So we're getting a bit stuck on the tech. We
Yeah,
found our cast.
yeah,
Just to announce them, we got Michael Tate as our leading man. I'm not going to
yeah,
give any names away because it's on the festival circuit and you're going to have to wait. So there's
yeah,
no movie of this at the end of this video because it's on the festival circuit.
yeah.
But our
From
leading man was Michael Tate, who was very good, excellent.
yes,
I mean, all of our cast is.
yeah,
Our leading lady was Sharon Lally.
yeah,
He's where it comes the doctor character, Laura Lee Daly. She was excellent too,
yeah.
and we'll just call him Host because it's sort of ambiguous like that, and that was
Yeah,
played by
the
Joshua
horse.
Whittington. And we
He
had
was,
some stand-ins that deserve a mention as well.
yeah,
For
yeah,
some audio-only recordings, which was Amin Taha and Joshua Hunt, who were both very good at what they
yeah.
did.
Amin was great as the game show host.
Yeah, I mean, as they were improvising it, as we were sort of coming up, because it was an entirely improvised piece, they were coming up with the show it was and his game show name. It was just a fun little piece.
Yeah.
Can't reveal anything about what it's about. All I'll say is the name is The Last Stock You'll Ever Need, so that could mean anything, frankly.
Yeah, I mean, the game show bit was fun because you asked me for some random questions, and I gave you that hazy fantasy one.
Yeah. I think you better give the full name there, because just saying hazy fantasy is just completely meaningless out of context.
So the question was, who did hazy fantasy say was big leggy or something like that?
Yeah. Yeah. And we have to reference our cinematographer as well, who stepped up and became a production coordinator for us, Aman Rashid.
Yeah.
Who did a great job for us too.
He was fantastic. But I think most of the cast and crew that we had were really good. Haley Warren was a godsend. She was our first AD, and she really helped organize things. Aside from the cast and crew, we had loads of other production crew that came on board for what's essentially a free project. We didn't pay anyone. We
weren't able to.
We didn't have the money for it. But it's amazing what you can get when you basically reach out. And thanks to Laura.
I mean, Laura with the acting, it's like places that, if you're not aware, like it was Mandy was one of the places we put up, and what was the other one? Casting Call Out, was it called?
No, Casting Callback, which is a free service.
I
mean, Mandy is free as well, but only on one side. Or if you're putting out, if you're basically looking for actors, it's free. If you're an actor,
it's not. I mean, I basically got it free because I used sort of codes. I had lots of codes.
Ah, right. Okay, right. So Mandy's not free then.
It wouldn't have been free.
All right. So Mandy's not free then, but Casting Callback is free. And we got a lot of good responses from Casting Callback. That's how we found Josh in Manchester, isn't it?
Yeah. And I've got to say, he's fab. Whether he watches this or not, I don't really have any sort of stock in, but he's way better than he realizes he is. He was so nervous about accepting the role. He thought he couldn't do it justice. And he didn't only do it justice, he was outstanding. He's way more talented than I think he realizes.
Yeah, he's superb. And I've got to say, I honestly could see him in some more serious roles as a bad guy. I think he makes a fantastic villain.
I mean, he is 6'5", so he has the towering.
Yeah, but you don't really see that on the screen. When he's on the screen, you don't really see his height. But
I don't know, because a lot of actors are very short.
Yeah, I know. But I think he's got a certain. There's a scene in the film where he's having a conversation, and the way it was filmed, you'd be amazed at the fact that it works so well.
Well, the two actors aren't in the same room as each other in any one point in time, and it doesn't really play out. It doesn't feel like that in the edit. They were both excellent.
Yeah, they were both excellent. Michael and Josh were excellent in that scene. But not only were they not in the same room, they were recorded on different days.
Yeah. Well, that goes without saying, Rob, really.
No, not necessarily. I just wanted to clarify. They recorded on completely different days, about, what was it, 2 weeks apart?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, I do have to give a shout out to some people, because we mentioned location and location scouting for earlier on. And we were lucky enough, Gosforth Civic Theatre let us film a scene in their offices, and then Beth in Deckham, who let us use her flat. We basically
it was an Airbnb, and the thing about Airbnbs, if you use enough of them or went on enough, a lot of it is basically vacuous grey shell with a bed in it.
It's basically a hotel room. That's it.
It's not even a hotel room. It's less than a hotel room. It's basically like one step up from a prison. Some of them.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
there's a few in there that look like a human actually lives there.
Yeah, and Beth
had one of those. It was full of character.
Yeah, absolutely. and also Diversity Hub in Newcastle, who let us film there as well. So yeah, that they were fantastic, and they let us film there for free.
Yeah,
which is brilliant.
Jazz and Monja.
Yeah, Jazz and Monja at Diversity Hub were fantastic, and yeah, I mean, okay, we had to pay for the Airbnb. That's a separate thing, but the fact that we got permission to film, which is, I know how incredibly difficult it is to get permission to film in an Airbnb.
We asked a handful, and most of them said no.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, I wouldn't say a handful. I'd say more than a handful.
And Beth said yes.
Yeah,
she was very gracious.
But yes, so big shout out to them. This wouldn't have got made without people like that jumping on board.
It's not going to be the last. It's not a one and done. I'm going to try and do consistent work, like at least once a year, going forward.
Yeah, and we'll still be doing this. The Geek Show.
Oh yeah. It's not like one or the other. It's not one or the other. And the film is done. It's done and dusted. It's about 15 minutes long. It's been submitted to film festivals, which is an entirely different.
Yeah.
And I don't think you can prepare for sort of the world of film festivals, really.
Yeah.
One, I think that is where most of the budget actually goes.
Yeah.
Because every festival you need to submit to, and they have a varying scale of how much they want from you.
Yeah.
And two, when you submit, there's no guarantee that you're actually going to be played. So you can submit, say, let's say Sundance.
Yeah.
Sundance was £70 to submit to. I wasn't going to submit it to Sundance. We're nowhere near at that level. That's like a while off. But say you submitted to Sundance, I think it was £70 for a short film.
Yeah.
So there's £70 that you're putting into a festival, and you might not get any sort of benefit from it. It's just basically pissing money into the wind.
Yeah.
So there's more festivals than days in the year, frankly.
I mean, that's just looking at the UK festivals. We didn't just look at the UK festivals. We want spread our wings and spread it out all over the world. So we did. And we chose like loads of short film festivals and other film festivals in various countries. I mean, we've sent it out to like Norway, Sweden, Denmark, Spain, France, Italy, China,
Turkey, Japan.
Yeah. So we've gone quite far afield.
I think we were looking at one in Cape Verde.
Yeah. Exactly.
Which, if you don't know, you're African. I think it's way down in, I think off the coast, isn't it?
Off the coast of Sri Lanka.
East Africa, I think.
No, I think it's off the coast of Sri Lanka.
It's an island off Africa, nonetheless.
In the Indian Ocean. It's somewhere in the Indian Ocean.
But yeah, that's where we're looking. Yeah. And
but
the thing is, you can, and there's a friend and a podcaster and a writer for us, Jimmy Dean.
Yeah.
Who is like, he was
a godsend. He was a godsend.
Just as somebody who's been through all of this and someone to ask questions to, he was just a saint, frankly. He's the nicest guy. He really is. I have all the time in the world for Jimmy. And he said he submitted to more than we have and got about 1/10 of what he submitted to. So let's say you submit to 50.
Yeah.
You're only getting 5.
Yeah.
That's the sort of rate that he has. So it's a lot of money to be putting into something and you're getting no return, really. Yeah. So I think the festival circuit is kind of the real test bed of whether you want to be a filmmaker or not. If you're okay with submitting to festivals and those festivals basically giving you the same sort of line of, we got a lot of films and we loved all of them, but we can't take them all. So well done on your creativity, but we can only take so many, or something along those sort of lines.
I mean, that's not to knock people who make films and don't submit them to festivals, because I think it's just, what are your goals with making films? What are your ambitions?
One isn't better than the other.
No, one isn't better than the other.
You can submit to festivals and you can have a great career out of it, and you can make connections and you can get the attention of people in the industry, and that's great.
Yeah.
You can do the same on YouTube.
Yeah.
But it's a different pathway. And it's weird, isn't it? There's so much competition in the short film world and the film festival world that I think, why would you do that? Go on YouTube or something. But the competition for YouTube is even harsher. It's even more cruel.
Yeah, I know.
So it's about picking your poison, really.
Yeah.
My poison, this is stuff that I'm responsible for. I think film festivals are the way, because it's just, there's a different vibe about a film festival. And just putting it on YouTube is kind of a passive. I mean, you got to promote it pretty actively, but it's very passive. You just put it up there and there you go, it's done.
Well, I mean, I look at it from the perspective, from a different perspective. I look at it from the perspective of, if you put it on YouTube and someone makes a hateful comment about it, you don't know who it is. But if you put it out at a film festival and somebody writes a review about it, you're probably going to see them at another festival, so you can hit them in the face.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm not suggesting that. I'm not saying that you should. I'm saying that is a possibility that could happen.
It's the horrible thing about being in the film industry, sort of criticism end of the film industry. I know so many film critics, and I want none of them to see this film.
I know. But this, I think this is.
I say that in a very dismissive way. I do want them to see it. I just don't want them to review it.
Yeah, I think there's a fine line between criticism and feedback. If somebody gives you honest feedback that is valuable and that helps you improve, that's fair. That's fine. You know, I'm okay with that. But if somebody's just criticizing for the sake of criticizing, then that's not fair.
Yeah. And it's one of those industries as well, like any creative industry, you have to have the skin of a rhino.
Yeah.
Because if you can't take criticism, or if no is like the most hateful or hurtful thing that somebody can say to you, yeah, it's just not worth the effort. It's going to cause you all sorts of mental health grievances.
Yeah.
I think, which is why so many filmmakers in particular are so damaged. It's just the nature of, you have to be, to put up with the things that the industry will throw at you. But yeah, that is the movie that we made, the short film that we made. We're going to be making more. Like I said, trying to do one a year-ish, give or take. Not necessarily all of them will be going to festivals, but I'll try and keep all of them at that one a year.
They will all end up on YouTube at some point, though.
Oh yeah. I've got another channel for that. Trolling and Drum Films. That'll pop up at the screen, and in fact, it's too early to subscribe to it because there's nothing on there yet, because it's all sort of locked up in festival. But please do keep up with the Geek Show. We'll be doing other stuff, more traditional episodes going forward, all around this sort of length. Yeah. So if you enjoyed this and you have some questions, please fire away. I'd be more than willing to answer whatever you have, even if you are confused about my interest in socks, which it's not really an interest, it's just one of those things. But whatever the questions you have, fire them away in the comments below. Please do subscribe and check out some of the other stuff that we did, including our website, thegeekshow.co.uk. But until next time, I'm not sure what we're going to be doing on the Geek Show, but it will be back quicker than.
Yes.
It won't be quite as long until episode 2.
Yeah, and a lot more regular as well. We'll be doing it a lot more regular as well.
Please do check out whatever that next video might be. But until then, thanks for watching, and we'll see you both later. We'll see you all there. Hopefully, not 2 of you. Let's take that again. So check out whatever videos we have coming up in the future, and we'll see you all in the next one. Bye.
Bye.